Hello, skeletal strangers. What do you think?
It's fitting for the
season.
Halloween. It is spooky season.
I was going to say spooky strangers, but then I feel like that should be
scary.
for the Halloween episode. So
skeletal is good.
Skeletal strangers. Welcome to the Strange Sessions. I'm Krista. With me is Kurt.
I'm Kurt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kurt.
Nice to meet you, Krista.
It's been a while.
I feel
like
we
do need to introduce you.
Well, like we were saying, I said it was only one episode, but really that's like 4 weeks.
Right. When we only record every other week.
Yeah. And you would think in that time I would have time to work on a good episode, but that never happens.
This will be mediocre.
No, I think it's a interesting episode. I don't think it's going to be super long.
That's okay.
That's I know you don't want the long. Like I love Astonishing Legends, but sometimes, like when there's a 4-part episode, they did the Bet Sphere, and I think it was a 4-part episode. But I love episodes like that really dive into the research. And you're right about Haunted Objects podcast. They do such a good job.
They do. I love them.
Of researching,
and we were just talking about this. And also, I just want to apologize because last episode we got to a certain point, and I think I got a little not cranky, but I was like, dude, this episode's going too long. But I had a lot going on that day, and all I could think about, my family was coming. We were having our first family gathering at the new house. And I was very I got to get upstairs. I have stuff I have to do. So I apologize for rushing us. But also, I think I mentioned to you this in a text. I can't listen to a podcast for a long time because I just don't. I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
Listening is a lot harder for me.
Yeah.
And I mostly just sit here and listen to you talk.
Yeah.
It's a long time to just sit and listen to somebody. So
that's why we were talking before we started recording that I was listening to the Haunted Objects. They have a 4-part. Do you want to do the spiel if you don't want to listen?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if you don't want to sit through this.
Before we start just jumping in.
Yeah, we're going to do some housekeeping, a taste test. We're going to welcome new strangers to the Facebook page if we have any. If you don't want to sit through that, hit pause, check the show notes. The timestamp of the topic start will be posted there.
Yeah, but they have a very good 4-part series about
so good.
EVP, or not EVP, but there's one about ITC. There's one about the spirit trumpet, which I've never heard about.
It's really cool.
About mediums.
And the last one is about the Estes method.
With the Estes method. So they have a very good 4-part series. That's the most recent one.
And the last one was over 2 hours long, and Jim and I sat and watched it in one sitting.
And I was driving here listening to it, and I love that they just talk.
Yeah, it's very conversational.
Where me, I just read to you. So we're trying to figure out how I can get better at this. And I think I'm just going to do bullet points maybe, and then we will discuss the bullet point in future episodes. Today's going to be Krista just
a little
listening.
Late for that.
It's going to be just listening to me.
But we'll both research the topic, and so we can have a conversation rather than me listening to you read, and every once in a while going, that's interesting.
Waking up and going, yeah, that's interesting. But I want to give shout outs to our newest strangers, and those are Addie Westford and Jenny Nicole. And I want to give a special shout out to the ladies from the Felicity Was Here podcast.
Oh yeah, I saw that you were a guest.
Yeah, they had me as a guest host. One of them wasn't able to make it, so
was it their season finale?
It was the season 2 finale
of
Felicity Was Here, and it's basically their season finale too. But it was season 2 finale, the biggest deal there is. So I got to sit in on that. So it was awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me on there. I love Felicity. So thank you.
And we have after today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more recording days left. Yeah. It'll be 5 episodes.
Yep.
So
and then Krista and I were talking before we started recording that I think the game plan for next season is there's going to be 20 episodes. We're going to just set 20 episodes. And after this season is done, like I usually do, I'm going to put a poll in the strangers about what you guys want an episode about. And Krista and I might pick one topic that we specially want to do. But other than that, every episode is going to be based on what you guys want. So that's what we're going to do. The season premiere topic, of course, is going to be for the winner of the trivia contest. They get to pick whatever they want us to talk about. Whatever. Within reason.
Yeah.
Like it just can't be naughty.
Right.
I guess.
I'd rather avoid politics.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, please, no politics. But anything else is fair game. There's I can't even think of what I downloaded it this morning, but there's a book series object something where they take an ordinary object and there's a book about its history, about stuff, and I downloaded one about phone booths. And I started reading it, and it's really interesting, actually. Like, phone booths are kind of not a thing
of the past,
anymore.
yeah.
So, that's if you want us to talk about phone booths, we can talk about phone booths. Do we have any?
It's like the side sessions.
It
Any
is like the
topic
side
is
sessions.
game.
Do we have any housekeeping? I feel like
we're in Studio 2.0.
We are officially in the Strange Cellar 2.0.
Yep.
And it looks awesome. You guys did a really good job.
We have a nice rug. This used to be in our living room at the old house, but there's no real space for it in this house, so it's down here.
It's perfect.
We've got our whiteboards up. We have our big feets up.
Yes, we do.
Our big foots. But we have a lot of pictures to get up.
Yeah.
Jim and I have to work on that, but
Yep.
hopefully by next time we record, we'll have that done.
Yeah. No, it looks great.
This is more cozy, better lighting. This feels
more like an actual studio.
Yeah, not a laundry room.
Yeah. Although I like the laundry room too.
It served its purpose.
Oh, before I forget, Kayla says we should meet with her for coffee after the next episode.
Okay.
So hey Kayla.
Hey Kayla.
So let's plan on that. Is there anything else? I feel like there was something I was going to put in housekeeping, but I can't think of what.
Hold on, I gotta see what date that is. That might be my brother's birthday, and we're going up north.
Okay.
But let's see.
Let me know.
Oh, no, the 25th? It'll be the 25th. We should be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay, we get to have breakfast with Kayla.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? I feel like
I don't think so.
No.
Taste test?
Jump into the taste test?
Yeah.
I bought this a
Is
while.
it good or bad?
I don't know. I bought this a while ago, and
do you want to do a bamboozled?
Let's do this first before we do a bamboozled.
It's been a while.
I bought this a while ago, and
okay.
I figure our last couple have been super good, so this one we deserve a clunker.
Do we? I should say our listeners
this one I believe
deserve
is
a
South
clunker.
Korean. I think it's South Korean actually.
Mini corn chips. Okay. Korean cracker. Let me take a picture. It was $2.99.
Interesting flavor.
So where'd you get it?
The Asian market.
Oh, hot green pepper and mayo.
Yeah, I got it at the Asian market in Manitowoc.
It seems like a take on, what is that called? Mexican street corn, where they cover corn in mayo.
Oh, I could eat mayo by the spoonful.
Yeah, I don't hate it. And we are officially Duke's people.
Oh,
now.
I am too. Like Aaron too.
I was
like,
a Hellman's girl.
We will not buy. I won't buy any mayo.
I mean, I'm not poo-pooing on Hellman's, but we are Duke's people now.
Yeah.
Like bona fide Duke's
And the
people.
first time I had it was when we tried our peanut butter mayonnaise sandwich way back in season 2, I think, because a listener sent us the Dukes.
Yeah, I forgot who's. We're so bad at that. I'm sorry, people. I'm drinking out of this mug, this like Asian style.
Yep.
That has all the monsters on it. I don't remember who sent this to us. Like, I'm so terrible at this.
We should start putting the names.
Oh, we need a
the names on there.
spreadsheet. Okay, ready? Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, I'm a little scared about the hot green pepper, but I'm excited about the mayo.
If I get it open. Okay, hold on.
I believe it is South Korean. I was looking at the back of it this morning.
I have our
Ceremonial dagger.
I do. It's unboxed. I have our cabinet of curiosities all unpacked. So, okay, let's do this.
Sniff test.
Oh, they look like cornflakes.
They do look like cornflakes.
Okay, that's
they look
not
exact.
what I was
No,
expecting.
no,
Okay.
I was expecting like a Frito, not a cornflake.
I'm a little afraid. They are called mini corn chips.
Did you smell them?
It doesn't smell like anything. Well, it smells like cornflakes.
It does smell like
It literally
cornflakes.
just smells like cornflakes. Okay, let me get a
Hot
picture
green
of this.
pepper and mayo flavor.
Yeah, the hot part scares me a little too. This is terrible lighting.
Made in South Korea. It'd be funny to put that in somebody's cornflakes box in their kitchen.
Would it?
If you didn't like them, yeah.
Oh, God. I'm scared. Ready?
I'm only going to take a small, just a small fingerful. Yep.
They taste like cornflakes.
They taste like nothing.
There's no flavor at all. They're just cornflakes. Okay, I get the tiniest bit of heat.
Oh my. Okay,
Very, very tiny bit of heat.
Wow. That's not what I was expecting.
Not at all. It's literally just cornflakes. I don't taste any mayo. at all.
I get a little burning sensation right
But
at the
it's
end.
very mild.
Yeah, like,
I kind of like them.
yeah, I mean, I literally could eat this as cereal because it doesn't
100%.
taste like...
Anything. They literally just took cornflakes and added some spice.
Is there a seasoning packet we're not putting in there that we're supposed to?
We have to season our own chips.
I like these.
I do too, actually. They have like a little bit of a sweetness like cornflakes do.
Yeah.
More of the flavor comes out the more you eat.
But they're good.
They're good.
I'm going to give that a 9.
I'm going to give it an 8 just because I don't taste the mayo.
I genuinely like these.
Yeah, they're good. That was surprising.
Wow.
And I actually enjoy the heat. It's an enjoyable heat.
It is.
Weird.
Because I'm getting it now, too.
Weird. Yeah.
Huh.
That is a very interesting...
So we do a Bean Boozled?
Yeah. What do we got to lose?
I'll let you pick.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. They got a little discombobulated.
Huh. I really liked those.
Okay. I'm going to do the old spin. Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good flick.
Okay, so we got... Oh, my glasses on. Crap. It's this one. The green one. So I think...
It's either going to be juicy pear or booger.
Oh, great. Is that your stomach?
That was my stomach.
Well, these are the only two, so pick one.
Okay. But the
Juicy
booger one
pear.
doesn't taste bad. It
Yeah,
just...
I feel like we've done this one
Yeah.
before.
Ready? I got the booger.
I got juicy pear. I've only gotten one bad one in the whole time that we've done this.
The booger is not bad. It's really not.
The juicy pear is really good.
I
Does
can't...
it just kind of taste like a Jelly Belly that's maybe old or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't like taste off. It
The
just...
juicy pear actually tastes like pear.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I'm going to reach in and take one at random.
Okay. Ooh, living on the edge.
Yep. I don't even know what flavor it's supposed to be. Oh my God.
What did you get?
I don't know.
Did you see what color it was?
Brown.
So brown.
Oh
could've
my
been-
God.
You have the thingy. Oh, there's only one brown.
Oh.
I can't read it. I can't read it. What does brown say?
Oh my God.
Oh, there's so
Oh,
many brown.
it's liver and onions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or cappuccino?
No, it's liver and onions. Ugh, because there's a weird meat taste. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my
liver and
God.
onions. Or cappuccino would
No.
be your other choice.
Yeah, it's
You
liver and
didn't get
onions.
cappuccino?
No.
There are a
Oh,
lot of brown ones in here.
it does taste like liver and onions.
I'm going to randomly take a brown one too then. Well, this one has speckles. Is it supposed to have speckles?
Oh.
Okay, I'm doing it. Oh, God. I'm scared. I got cappuccino.
What the heck?
Oh, it's good too.
Mine was not.
Oh, that was delicious, actually. Not to
Try
brag.
take a brown one until you get liver and onions.
No.
I want to see what you think of it.
Oh, that's rude.
I mean, it wasn't as horrible.
Cappuccino's really good.
It wasn't as horrible as like the sardine one.
Your reaction tells me something else.
It was just off-putting at first.
Oh, yep. Oh,
Like I said, it's not.
there's like this weird scent that comes through your nose.
Yeah, but there's like a weird meaty taste to it. But then there's onions too.
Yeah, it's liver and onions.
Yeah.
How do they do this?
Don't know.
The cappuccino one was way better.
Oh, 100%. Proud of you for.
That's a weird flavor combination in my mouth.
was.
Cappuccino,
But
and
it
liver
wasn't
and
like
onions.
spit it out right away.
No.
But it's just
Oh,
it's off-putting eating
Yeah.
a jelly bean that
I
tastes
need-
like liver and onions.
I need more corn chips now. Wow, this is a food-heavy intro. Wow. Sorry for all the chomping in the microphone, people. I just got to get this taste out of my mouth.
When we're done after next
Those
season, you're
spicy
gonna miss the
cornflakes.
chomping. I really like these. Would not have expected how much I like these, but that burn is like
Okay,
lingering.
that's so much better. All right, I can move on now.
It's like eating Total cereal out of the box. Do they even still make Total?
Total. Oh, I forgot about that. Maybe. We're not really big cereal people. Jim will buy cereal once in a while. So I rarely go. Well, I get peanut butter in that aisle. I don't pay much attention to the cereal, though.
I'm trying to eat cereal every morning instead of ramen noodles or hot dogs or
Hot dogs.
yeah.
What kind of cereal? What's your favorite?
My favorite is Fruity Pebbles, but I can't get it because I will eat a whole box in one
sure.
sitting. But
Also, it's just basically a bowl of sugar.
Frosted Flakes. I'm getting the Meyer brand Frosted Flakes, which are actually really good. But I also have the Meyer brand Honey Nut Cheerios.
Ooh, I love Cheerios.
Honey Nut
So
Cheerios
good.
I like.
Yeah, Honey Nut. My best friend always had that growing up. That is such a nostalgic flavor.
And it's a good food. I mean, it's a good cereal. It really is.
Have we ever done a side session on nostalgic food?
Yeah.
Damn. We gotta
I
come
think.
up with
Or did we do one on nostalgic foods that we can't get anymore?
Oh, we did that for sure.
Yeah. Should we? I'll see if we have one for nostalgic foods. Maybe
'Cause I
we'll
already
do that.
got some in my
Maybe
head
we'll do
now.
that this week that we can still get.
Yeah.
That remind us of being a kid. Maybe we'll try that.
Okay.
I love the spicy
We'll have to come up with a
mayo.
spooky one then for the week of Halloween, that episode.
Yeah. Yep. Anything else we want to
cool.
banter about, or
Nope,
is it time?
We're good. It's time.
So today we are going to be talking about the Kecksburg incident and the Nazi bell. Do you know much about either of those?
Nope.
Kecksburg, I remember from Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, okay.
And there's one image I just totally remember. So they might be interrelated. I'm not exactly sure. So we're
okay.
going to discuss that. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This whole first section I'm reading comes from a really, really, really good website called Enigma Labs.
Enigma Labs.
Yeah, which is a great website. And then the second half, I'm reading from a website that I absolutely love that I never heard of before. It's called Factum Obscura. And they do a really good job.
Why does that sound familiar, though?
Because there's Obscura wikis. But those are two really good websites. So this first one comes from Enigma Labs website. What did you look over there?
Because I was just like, what just kicked in?
Oh.
Is it going to clunk out and scare the bejesus out of me? Because
Probably.
I think it's that refrigerator and we're closer to it now.
Probably. You ready?
I'm ready.
Kecksburg is a small community in southwestern Pennsylvania located 30 miles to the southeast of Pittsburgh. At the time of the events of 1965, Kecksburg was home to a small population of around 500 residents.
Oh.
That is a small
That's
town.
very small.
Like Mishicot, I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's like a village.
Yeah. So that's a small community.
What kind of community, actually.
Exactly.
I'm loving small town life.
At approximately 4:45 p.m. on the afternoon of December 9th, 1965, several reports of a fireball streaking through the sky were reported by residents of several states, including Pennsylvania, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, West Virginia, and New York, along with parts of Canada. So a lot of people saw this thing. Witnesses included weather observers and Canadian Coast Guard personnel. The sightings appeared to have received additional corroboration from airline pilots who described seeing, quote, a flash of orange fire in the sky, coinciding with the reports, and witnesses in several states described seeing what they believed to be falling debris accompanying the fireball. With me so far?
Now it's weird that I haven't heard of this.
It'll sound familiar, I think,
Okay.
coming up. Andrew Rosepeiler, a resident of Midland, Pennsylvania, saw the object while driving and judged the object to be about the size of a football. That's totally wrong. With a long trailing tail of fire and smoke. Another observer in the nearby township of Patterson claimed that her son had observed, quote, a big ball of fire fall into the woods and the woods are smoking. One pilot observer, Raymond Wallings of Ohio, was flying over Lake Erie when he observed a fireball that he watched until he believed it plummeted into the lake. Early speculations about what the object had been included a meteor as well as the launch of a test rocket over Lake Erie, although Coast Guard and Air Force officials later confirmed that no rocket launch had occurred. Several small grass fires were also reported in various parts of Ohio and Pennsylvania, coinciding with sightings of the fireball. However, by 6 p.m., the search for possible fallen debris had centered on Kecksburg, where an official search party consisting of local police, U.S. military personnel, and scientists were assembled to comb the suspected impact area. As many as 150 onlookers soon arrived. Onlookers.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I know you weren't. As many as 150 onlookers soon arrived at the scene, prompting officials to set up roadblocks around the search area. Several publications, notably the Greensburg, Pennsylvania Tribune Review, carried headlines characterizing the fireball as a, quote, unidentified flying object, noting that locals who had felt vibrations or a thump seemed to coincide with the apparent impact. According to an account in the December 10th edition of the Tribune Review, quote, the area where the object landed was immediately sealed off on the order of the U.S. Army and state police officials, reportedly in anticipation of a close inspection of whatever may have fallen. The paper further quoted a spokesman for the radar team with the U.S. Army's 662nd Radar Squadron based in Pittsburgh, who said of the search effort, quote, we don't know what we have yet. Robert Gaddy, a staff writer at the time with the Tribune Review, had visited the scene and reported on the evening of December 9th that no one was being allowed near the object and that U.S. Army engineers and civilian scientists were expected to join the search, and that the Army's intention in blocking off the area had been in case, quote, the object, whatever it is, may be contaminated with radioactivity. My dad was in the Corps of Engineers. Maybe he was one of the Army engineers there to...
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. The search for the object was reportedly called off at 1 a.m. local time on December 10th, 1965. A state trooper at the scene was quoted in the Beaver County Times the following morning stating his belief that, quote, there's definitely something down there. It was also reported that between 8 and 9 observers still at the scene of the alleged impact site following the search said that at approximately 2 o'clock a.m. they all saw, quote, a bright blue light in the woods about 150 feet from where they were standing on a hillside.
Prompting, like the impact site?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a
That's interesting. It went from being a fireball
yeah,
to a bright blue light.
Yeah, but remember blue because that's going to come in more in the second half. Prompting one state trooper to investigate, by which time the light had disappeared. Baldwin Wallace College professor Paul Anir was among the earliest to express the view that the object had just been a meteorite breaking apart as it made its way through Earth's atmosphere. This explanation could account for the various purported impact locations and scattered wildfires after the fireball was seen on the afternoon. So I get that because so many people saw this thing coming in and meteorites break apart. So that's the debris and that's all the fires that are starting.
Yep. That all makes sense.
Yeah. University of Michigan astronomer William Beitelman similarly told the Associated Press on December 10th that the object was undoubtedly a fireball. A Pentagon spokesman quoted in the AP article also said that reports indicate it was a natural phenomenon and that all aircraft, missiles, and the like have been accounted for. However, Ivan Sanderson, a Scottish-born biologist and noted proponent of UAP and other unexplained phenomena, disputed the meteor theory in an editorial on December 16th, noting inconsistencies between common meteor observations when compared with the fireball observed on December 9th. Quoting a military spokesman who had purportedly stated, quote, we don't know what we have here, but there is an unidentified flying object in the woods. Sanderson raised issues with the speed and trajectory of the object as it passed over the northeast, as well as reports of unusual debris believed to have been associated with the object. Sanderson said, quote, neither meteorites nor boldies. I don't even know what a boldie is. That must be like a meteorite. Mm-hmm. Neither meteorites nor boldies fly. They fall. What's more, they don't just drift in at 16.5 miles per minute. So,
what do they mean, like about unusual debris?
I don't know. I don't know if that was something they found.
Okay,
but that's what they said. Major Hector Quintanilla, then director of Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force's investigation into unidentified flying objects, told the Associated Press on December 9th that a team of Air Force investigators had been sent to the area to aid in the search. According to a memo for the record from the Project Blue Book case file for the Kecksburg incident, a Major Howard from the Pentagon contacted the Air Force requesting information that could be given to the press about the fireball sighting the previous day. The memo states that Quintanilla, quote, told him that a team of men were sent out from the Oakdale radar site in Oakdale, Pennsylvania, who helped with the search near Kecksburg until 2 o'clock a.m. and were not successful in finding an object. The memo adds that the detections of the object had been visual and that it had not been picked up on radar, and that the team of men who were sent to pick up the object worked along with the State Highway Patrol in trying to recover it. Quintanilla advised the Pentagon, quote, to call it a meteor that entered the atmosphere, adding that the investigation, however, was still ongoing and that there was no space debris that entered the atmosphere that day. So there's conflicting...
Well, that doesn't make sense.
No, there's conflicting reports about debris. You know, some people said there was, some people said there wasn't. So there's a lot of weird conflicting reports. In the decades after the incident, however, several individuals eventually came forward claiming to have observed an object in the woods where the U.S. Air Force personnel and Pennsylvania State Highway Patrol were conducting their search on the evening of December 9th. When these people made it to the crash site before the military showed up, they discovered an unusual bell-shaped craft without wings or any recognizable propulsion system. The bronze-colored structure resembled an acorn, and it was estimated to be around 15 feet long, or about the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Are Volkswagen Beetles 15 feet long?
It doesn't seem like it would be.
I don't know.
A bus, maybe?
It was
A
estimated to be
Volkswagen bus?
possibly around 15 feet long, or about the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Adding to this bizarre occurrence, the craft was said to have featured a design reminiscent of Egyptian-like hieroglyphics engaged. Oh my God. The craft featured a design reminiscent of Egyptian-like hieroglyphics engraved along the outside of the craft. And this reminds me of Roswell, where there were people found like the foil. It was like a foil material that had like hieroglyphics on it.
Have we ever done an episode on Roswell?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Go on.
No, we did one about Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
As we both drink our coffees at the same
That
time.
was so Wisconsin, too. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we did. It's just, there were quite a few people that said that they did see this craft, this bell-shaped craft without wings, no propulsion system. Within hours, military personnel arrived to the UFO crash site to confiscate the wreckage. Local newspapers reported that the area around the crash was immediately sealed off by order of the U.S. Army and Pennsylvania State Police. In fact, according to a story in the Tribune Review, police officials ordered the area roped off to await the expected arrival of both the Army engineers and possibly scientists. It didn't take long for the military officials to load the craft onto their trucks, cover everything with tarps, and haul away the last remnants of the crash. And that's the image I remember from the Kecksburg. I think it was Unsolved Mysteries. It might have been Sightings, but it was the recreation of the
Hauling away
trucks with the tarps on the back. And a lot of people saw these trucks with something on the back with a tarp over it, which is suspicious.
Yeah.
You know, testimony from these individuals collected by Pennsylvania investigator Stan Gordon, and we're going to hear like Stan Gordon's account a little bit. Detailed observations of a, quote, large metallic acorn-shaped object partially buried in the ground. Based on interviews with witnesses, Gordon said that he was convinced that an object did fall from the sky and apparently was removed by the military, concluding that it was either an advanced man-made space probe or possibly an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Russian officials Gordon said he had spoken with reportedly confirmed to him that the Soviet Venus probe Cosmos 96, which did re-enter the atmosphere on the same date, was not the source of what fell that day, because that happened at 3:18 a.m. and this happened way later in the day.
Sure.
But that is one of the beliefs, is that this thing was the Soviet probe Cosmos 96.
Well, was that shaped like an acorn?
And but the Russian writing might have been mistaken for hieroglyphics around the end. Also among the alleged witnesses had been broadcaster John Murphy, who at the time of the incident was director of WHJB radio in nearby Greensburg. Murphy's former wife told Gordon that she had been in contact with her husband by radio on the date of the incident, and that he had been the first reporter to arrive at the location of the impact. According to Gordon, he told her that he went down into the woods and saw the object.
So was it like an acorn? I'm trying to picture this thing. A 15-foot long acorn shape. So it was like an acorn on its side. It's the only way I could picture it.
Look up Kecksburg UFO. There's a...
How do you spell it? Huh.
Keck.
Okay. Keck.
Burg.
Oh,
They have, I'm going to get to it in a little bit, but they have the, like, yeah, that's it.
But so 15 feet from top to bottom.
That's my guess. It's 15 feet from, and maybe the size of a Volkswagen.
It literally looks like an acorn.
It does.
Okay.
But that was what they used, I believe. I'm going to get to it in a little bit, but I think that's
fall.
It is very.
We have a lot of acorns on our property.
It is, but it does look like an acorn.
Mm-hmm.
Murphy allegedly took photos of the object, which his wife said were confiscated days later by government officials. Of course, that always happens. Murphy went on to produce
like Men in Black.
Exactly. Murphy went on to produce a radio documentary titled Object in the Woods, which contained no mention of his observations of an object, but his former wife claimed that it had undergone edits after the photos were confiscated. 16 portions of Murphy's radio documentary were later featured in Stan Gordon's documentary film on the incident called Kecksburg, The Untold Story. In the days after the crash, many eyewitnesses have said they were forcibly turned away by military personnel, and some have even claimed to have been visited after the fact by Men in Black-style officials who reminded them to avoid discussing what they saw that night. These stories quickly fed into the additional rumors and conflicting theories that began to emerge. So there we got the Men in Black telling people that they didn't see anything. On December 31st, 1990, the popular television series Unsolved Mysteries aired a segment on the Kecksburg incident as part of the first episode of its third season. In keeping with the program's format, it featured dramatizations of the purported crash of the acorn-shaped object previously described by witnesses. As with the similar airing of an earlier episode of the program involving the Roswell incident, the episode's appearance resulted in widespread public interest in the Kecksburg incident. Today, the model reconstruction of the alleged acorn-shaped craft used in the filming of the episode remains on display as a tourist attraction in Kecksburg. On October 17th, 2003, Sci-Fi Channel aired a television program called, quote, The New Roswell, Kecksburg Exposed. In advance of the program, the network sponsored a town hall meeting at the Kecksburg Fire Hall that was open to the public, with hopes that longtime local residents with memories about the event of December 1965 may come forward. The event was moderated by former co-host of Today and The Early Show, Brian Gumbel. I haven't thought about Brian Gumbel in forever. And featured testimony from several people with recollections about the incident, including Tribune Review reporter Bob Gaddy. Investigative reporter Leslie Keene, with help from the Washington law firm Lobel, Novins, and Lamont, and others associated with the Sci-Fi Channel program, filed a lawsuit under the Freedom of Information Act to attempt to obtain records from NASA about the incident. 2 years later, in advance of the 40th anniversary of the Kecksburg incident, the space agency issued a statement saying that the incident had indeed involved the reentry of a Russian satellite, but that 2 boxes of records pertaining to the incident have been lost.
Oh, so, well, okay.
Dave Stites,
Convenient.
a NASA spokesperson, said that fragments from the object had been collected and studied by NASA scientists, but that records related to this had been misplaced sometime in the 1990s. How many times do we hear that in these things? That, oh, well, we had stuff, but it's gone.
Not sure where it went.
Yeah.
Or there was a fire or whatever.
So that's just so suspicious.
Yeah.
We had records and pieces, but I don't know. We don't know where they are. In a closet somewhere.
Yeah.
In 2007, Washington Judge Emmett Sullivan ruled that NASA's explanation for the missing documents was insufficient and ordered the space agency to conduct an additional search for the records, which still remain unaccounted for. Notably, NASA's explanation for the incident appeared to conflict with previous determinations that the object seen was most likely a meteor. It also seemed to conflict with NASA's own previously stated position from the 2003 Sci-Fi Channel program that existing data showed the Russian Cosmos 96 probe had fallen in the early morning hours, not in the late afternoon, at which time all witnesses to the event said they observed a fireball over the northeast. In 2003, Keene asked Nicole L. Johnson to examine orbital data for the Soviet probe, who concluded, quote, "No part of Cosmos 96 could have landed in Pennsylvania on the afternoon of December 9th, 1965. NASA later appeared to confirm these assessments in a Space Science Data Coordinated Archive entry related to the Cosmos 96 spacecraft, where it noted that tracking data supplied by the Air Force, quote, indicate the spacecraft orbit decayed earlier on December 9th than the sightings, adding that as far as being an explanation for the Kecksburg incident, other analysis of the spacecraft orbit definitely indicate it could not have been the Cosmos 96 spacecraft. Due in part to the renewed attention brought onto the case by programs like Unsolved Mysteries beginning in the 1990s, the Kecksburg incident has become a staple of the modern American mythos surrounding alleged UFO crashes and the subsequent retrieval and cover-up of the wreckage by the United States military. So what do you think so far?
Definitely suspicious.
Yeah.
I mean, if it were just like a meteorite,
Yeah.
I feel like we'd have evidence of
Are
that.
meteorites radioactive? I honestly don't know.
I don't know. I suppose they could be. I don't know. Not a scientist.
I mentioned Stan Gordon earlier, and this is from him. This is his direct.
I'm going to Google it.
What?
If
Are
meteorites are...
could be radioactive?
Yeah. Are or can? Can meteor... Wow. Meteorites. Rust?
Siri,
No.
can meteorites be
Thank you.
radioactive?
I always forget about Siri. Yes,
Well,
they
certain
can.
meteorites
They
are radioactive. Not all of them are.
Though typically at levels lower than Earth rocks.
Yeah, but it sounds like what they were doing, like cordoning off the whole area and
it might be radioactive.
not letting people in is a little sketchy.
Yeah.
So this is from Stan Gordon from his article called, quote, "The Kecksburg, Pennsylvania UFO Crash Incident." He writes, "During my years of investigation into the matter, other witnesses who saw the object go down in the woods that day have been located. It has been stated that moments after the object fell, blue smoke rose up among the trees but dissipated quickly. Many people say that the military, including members of the Army and Air Force, began to arrive in the area around the village of Kecksburg within a few hours after the reported landing. During the evening, reporters from numerous media sources went to Kecksburg to investigate the event. The area around the alleged impact site was cordoned off and a search for the object conducted in the woods. Neither civilians nor reporters were able to get near the spot where the object had reportedly fallen. Hundreds of spectators looked on from a narrow country road which circled around the area, unaware that the object appeared to have fallen on the opposite side of the woods." So they were all sitting there. As time passed that evening, many people left disappointed that they couldn't see the object. A few curious folks tried to sneak down into the woods and later told me that they were turned back by the military. Later that night, others say they observed a military flatbed truck carrying a large tarp-covered object leaving the area at a high rate of speed.
Was it an acorn-shaped object?
The tarp, I don't know. Reporters are among the many witnesses who verified that they did see military personnel in the Kecksburg area that night. Officially, no object was found in the wood by searchers. It was suggested that the most likely explanation of the brilliant object in the sky was a meteor. But word that something was removed from the site by the military that night quickly circulated around the country. The Kecksburg incident remained a topic for area radio talk shows for years, as it does today. As the years passed, I would receive various accounts from other sources who claimed knowledge of the event. Many of those involved with the incident even today wish to remain anonymous. Others have gone public and stand by their accounts. Some have faced personal attacks and ridicule, and many important witnesses have passed away. What we now know is that there are individuals who say they went down into the woods that day in 1965 before the military arrived and came across a large metallic acorn-shaped object partially buried in the ground. The device was large enough for a man to stand inside of it. The object was a bronze gold color and appeared to be one solid piece of metal displaying no rivets or seams. At the back of the acorn shape was what witness Jim Romanski calls the bumper area. Upon this area were unusual markings that Romanski said looked similar to ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Romanski, who has been a machinist for many years, said the object itself looked as though it had been made from liquid metal and poured into a big mold. Since the object was impacted in the ground, the bottom portion was not visible, but what could be seen appeared to be intact. The late John Murphy was the news director of WHJB Radio in Greensburg at the time, and he's believed to have been the first reporter on the scene. This is where I said his wife says that she was in radio contact with them and that he said he did see an object. I have also received anonymous tips that pointed me in the right direction, which helped to uncover other details. Before Unsolved Mysteries broadcast their story about Kecksburg in 1990, I was contacted by a former Air Force security policeman who told me that he was among the unit that guarded the object from Pennsylvania when it arrived in the early morning hours of December 10th at Lockbourne Air Force Base near Columbus, Ohio. He remembers extreme security measures at the time and says that the object was only at the base for a short while and then continued on to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base near Dayton, Ohio. We later learned that the object was allegedly sealed up inside a building at that base. Wright-Patterson is where so many UFOs and evidence claim is supposed to go. You know, any UFO lore, it always mentions Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I have learned a lot about the Kecksburg case over the years, yet there remain many unanswered questions. I surely don't have all the answers. Based on the accounts of multitudes of witnesses that I have interviewed, I'm convinced that an object did fall from the sky and was removed by the military. Other researchers have provided me with interesting but unverifiable information that they have talked with former NASA sources who claim to have examined the object and determined it to be Soviet in origin. I have also talked with two former military men unknown to each other that told me during different years and at different places they saw the recovery report on the Kecksburg object, and both said the report indicated that the object was extraterrestrial. From what the observers tell us, the object, whatever it was, appeared to be slowing down a few miles before it impacted. During its flight, it appears to have made some turns, and those who saw the object drop from the sky said it was moving slowly as it moved towards the woods. This might account for the good condition of the object itself and the little damage at the impact site, except for trees which were knocked down.
Which suggests it's not natural.
Exactly. One question we must ask is, what was it that fell that's so important it could cause the military to act the way they did at the scene? Various witnesses have now gone public confirming that armed soldiers were around the village and preventing anyone from trespassing near the crash site. Jerry Betters, a popular jazz musician from Pittsburgh, has gone public and told his story that soldiers aimed rifles at him and his friends, ordering them away from a back road as an Army flatbed tractor trailer with an acorn-shaped object on board was making its way up from a field. More recently, a prominent businessman contacted me and told me that he and his friends, then teenagers in 1965, tried to get near the site and were stopped by military personnel. He was frightened at the time of the experience. He thought the soldier was going to shoot him. Would armed soldiers respond to the site of a meteorite crash? And
Probably
who issued
not.
the orders for such an operation to take place? Recently, while visiting an area business, a worker recognized me and asked me about the Kecksburg case. He told me that he has an interest in the incident for years since he has a relative who worked at the Pentagon at the time, and this relative had made a special trip to this area to investigate the matter. When this person asked his relative about what happened, he refused to give any details, but his words were remembered, saying, quote, "There was more to it than you'll ever know." I have no doubt that there are individuals who have important information on this case. It's time that the truth is revealed, regardless of what the object was. It's time to break the silence. So, theories. Number 5, meteor. What do you think?
I just feel like the reaction would have been differently.
Yeah, like anytime there's a meteor crashes somewhere, did the military show up with
Right.
their rifles and
That's bizarre.
but then it almost seems like the military knew this was going to crash. You know, like it sounds like they got there relatively quickly, where people weren't even able to go down in the woods except for a couple people that apparently saw this thing. But that's the most skeptical explanation, is that it was a meteor. Number 4, a UFO. This comes from the Penn Live website from an article called the Kecksburg UFO Incident. Witness Bill Buellbush told the History Channel's UFO Hunter show in 2009, quote, "I heard this sizzling noise, and then I saw this red fireball coming, and I just watched it. It went up towards the mountain, made a turn and came back, a perfect turn, and came down. It seemed like it was just trying to find a place to land." Therein lies one of the strangest themes of the Kecksburg crash, and why so many have been unable to accept the official "it was just a meteor" explanation. Various witness accounts have, like Buellbush's, described how the object didn't just fall from the sky, but appeared to make controlled movements before hitting the ground. In writing for The Vindicator almost a week after the incident, Ivan T. Sanderson, described by the paper as, quote, "a widely respected authority on the unexplained phenomena of science," notes how the object was on an uninterrupted straight trajectory before it made a 25-degree turn to the east. Sanderson says, quote, "There is no possible converting this course into any form of a geometric curve. The fall of material on the ground pinpoints the passage, and meteorites do not make abrupt turns in their direction of flight. Plus, in keeping with the fireball's controlled movements, this thing was slow." Sanderson points out that the maximum average speed of a meteor is about 144,000 miles per hour.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, this thing was only going about 16 miles a minute, or 2,400 miles per hour. So it was going slow. For a meteorite?
Sure.
Yeah. So that's the UFO theory. Theory number 3, that it was Cosmo 96. This comes from theblackvault.com. Within days of the incident, speculation arose that the fireball might have been re-entering space junk, specifically a piece of a Soviet probe. One candidate was Cosmos 96, a Soviet Venus probe that had malfunctioned after launch and was reported to have re-entered Earth's atmosphere on December 9th, 1965. Could the Kecksburg object have been Cosmos 96, or part of it that somehow made it to Pennsylvania? In 1991 and 1998, NASA orbital debris expert James Oberg and others suggested this explanation. However, orbital tracking data strongly contradicts it. The U.S. Air Force space tracking indicated Cosmos 96 orbit decayed earlier on December 9th, well before the 4:43 p.m. fireball, and nowhere near Pennsylvania. In addition, the fireball's observed path and timing didn't match with what a falling satellite would likely look like. Thus, while the Soviet satellite theory is famous, the evidence against Cosmos 96 is strong. Theory number 2, that it was a U.S. spy satellite or a re-entry vehicle, that it was a Cold War project, which
Sure.
I get, and that's why the military would have known that something was coming down. Again, this is from the Black Vault. Some researchers have hypothesized that the object was American technology, a secret military satellite or re-entry capsule that fell out of orbit. In recent years, MUFON researchers John Ventre and Owen Eichler have speculated it was a General Electric Mark II re-entry vehicle, which was a type of classified U.S. spy satellite payload used in the 1960s. The idea is that such a device could have been launched by the Air Force and accidentally come down in Pennsylvania. This would explain the quick military response and secrecy, as well as the object's reported acorn-like shape. The GE Mark II was cone-shaped and could superficially resemble an upside-down acorn. However, like all hypotheses in this case, confirmation is lacking. No official record of losing such a craft exists in the public domain, and the Air Force has never acknowledged such an event.
But why would it exist?
Yeah.
Why would that record exist if it was a secret spy?
Exactly.
Yeah. I actually like that theory.
I do too, and it explains a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not the number one theory, but I have it at number 1 because it leads into the second part of the episode, and that is that it was the Nazi bell, or it was something related to the Nazi bell.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Now we're jumping to the Nazi bell. What do you think? What do you think of Kecksburg?
I think it's very interesting. I don't think it's a meteorite. I think number 2 is a very plausible explanation.
It is. To me, that is.
But I haven't heard about this Nazi bell yet. So
Well, I think to me, number 2 is
seems
that it was
just fits. Yeah.
It was
The shape,
It was a
everything.
secret United States craft. It wasn't Russian. It wasn't a UFO.
Explains the quick response.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't really explain the weird hieroglyphics on it, but we're going to see that again in a little bit.
Okay.
The TV show Ancient Aliens posed a different theory. During the segment where they discussed the Kecksburg incident, the hosts theorized that it could have even been a top-secret Nazi craft known as the Bell or Die Glocke. But I'm going to say Nazi Bell because I suck at saying Die Glocke. But that is a name in German, but it's Nazi Bell. And most of this comes from the Wikipedia article. DE173.com website article called Nazi Bell, and a factumobscura.com article called, quote, Unveiling Die Glocke, the Nazi Bell Explained. So the Bell was allegedly an experiment carried out by Third Reich scientists working for the SS in a German facility known as the Giant near the Wenceslas mine and close to the Czech border. Oh, God, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, I think. It was given the priority classification Kriegsentscheidend.
Yep.
Decisive, which means
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Which means decisive for the outcome of the war. The highest known category of secrecy and funding priority known in the Third Reich. No other known project had this high of a classification. It is unclear to this day exactly what the Bell experiments were and what the goal truly was. In his 2001 book called The Hunt for Zero Point, I've actually read that, author Nick Cook identified claims about the Bell as having originated in the 2000 Polish book Prawda o Wunderwaffe, or The Truth About the Wonder Weapon by Igor Witowski. The Astonishing Legends I listened to, they interviewed Igor Witowski, so it was interesting. Cook described Witowski's claims of a device called the Bell, engineered by Nazi scientists that was, quote, a glowing, rotating contraption, rumored to have been some kind of weapon, a time machine, or part of an SS anti-gravity program for a flying saucer. According to Cook, the craft was bell-shaped, about 12 feet high and 9 feet in diameter. So that kind of sounds a lot like that.
Yeah.
And incorporated 2 high-speed counter-rotating cylinders filled with a purplish, liquid, metallic-looking substance that was supposed to be highly radioactive, codenamed Xerum 525. Xerum 525.
Radioactive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in a counter-rotating cylinders, 2 of them filled with this purple liquid.
Okay.
Cook recounts that scientists and technicians who worked on the Bell and did not die from its effects were wiped out by the SS at the close of the war to maintain secrecy.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And the device was moved to an unknown location. Cook proposed that SS official Hans Kammler later secretly traded this technology to the United States military in exchange for his freedom. Witowski suggested that a concrete ring called the Henge near the Wenceslas mine built in 1943 or 1944 and vaguely resembling Stonehenge was used to tether the Bell during tests. That's what I had you, the image I had you look at. If you do a search on Google for the Henge, Henge, and Bell, it shows you this ring of pillars. But according to writer Jason Colavito, the structure is just the remains of an ordinary industrial cooling tower. Witowski's book was translated to English in 2003. He claimed to have discovered evidence of the Bell in a review of World War II-era documents that were declassified by the Polish government, which led him to additional research via archives and interviews. The first document, allegedly supplied to Witowski by an unnamed Polish government official, was an affidavit from the war crimes trial for General Jacob Sporenberg, who supposedly confessed to ordering the murder of about 60 people who had knowledge of the secretive project. Kurt Diebus, Werner von Braun, and Walter Gerlach were also allegedly implicated in the Bell's research. Witowski claims the Bell was organized under a division of the Waffen-SS and operated mainly at facilities in Lower Silesia. I don't know where that is. The Bell was said to have been conceived in early 1942, and active experimentation began on it in mid-1944. Witowski describes that the Bell, when activated, had an effect zone extending out about 490 to 660 feet. Within the zone, It is said that crystals would form in animal tissue, blood would gel and separate, and plants would decompose into a grease-like substance.
Oh my gosh.
Witowski also said that 5 of the 7 original scientists working on the project died in the course of the tests. Prisoners from the Gross-Rosen concentration camp were supposedly exposed to radiation from the bell, resulting in many deaths and health problems. Survivors of the camp are said to have reported witnessing tests of the bell and reported a bright bluish light coming from the object.
Okay.
Witowski postulated that Zerum 525 was likely an irradiated form of mercury used in the creation of a form of plasma that was intended as a weapon and or propulsion system, and which may have been capable of distorting space-time.
Wow.
So that's kind of what
crazy Nazis.
There's not a lot.
How does it get to Pennsylvania?
That's what we're gonna have to. That's what we're gonna have to discuss.
Okay.
There's just not a lot about the bell because there are no.
Sure.
There's no.
I mean, it kind of sounds.
It's not like you
legend.
can go and look at the blueprints of
Yeah.
it anywhere else. But there's people that said this thing did exist. So theories. I have 2 big theories and of course sub theories. Big theory number 1, it existed. And there's a couple different theories as to what it did. The craziest is this first one is time travel. Mm-hmm. A more extravagant offshoot of the Bell legend believes that the device could distort space and time. Some accounts allege that when the bell rang, it created a zone of bizarre phenomena. Besides lethal radiation, clocks would spin wildly, and researchers reported visions of the past or the future. The story about a concave mirror inside the bell that allowed one to peer through time is a prominent anecdote stemming from Henry Stevens' writings. Thus, the bell has been portrayed sometimes as a time machine or a looking glass allowing you to look into the past or the future. This reached such extremes that a theory emerged linking the bell to the Kecksburg UFO incident of 1965. In that incident, witnesses in Pennsylvania saw a fireball and claimed a bell-shaped object crashed into the woods, which was supposedly retrieved in secrecy by the U.S. military. Some conspiracy theorists argue that the Kecksburg object was indeed the Nazi bell, that it had somehow traveled through time or across dimensions from 1945 to 1965, or alternatively that the U.S. had obtained the bell and that what crashed at Kecksburg was the bell being tested. These claims are obviously highly speculative and not supported by any evidence beyond superficial shape similarity. Nonetheless, the Nazi time machine notion has proved irresistible in many TV shows and books. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I did not get to yet, or I don't remember if I just don't have it in here, is that if you look at the teaser picture of the Nazi bell, the bottom of it had strange symbols around it, just the same as the
Sure.
Kecksburg craft, which is weird.
Yeah.
You know,
the blue light, the shape.
Yeah. They had the hieroglyphics on it. Sub-theory B is that it was an anti-gravity device. One of the earliest and most popular claims is that the bell was an experimental anti-gravity propulsion device. In this telling, SS scientists were trying to create a flying gyroscope or some kind of levitating craft. The spinning mercury-like plasma inside the bell, when electrified at high speeds, was said to produce a gravitational anomaly, essentially canceling gravity. This ties the bell in with the broader myth of Nazi flying saucers. Some UFO writers speculated that the bell was meant to be the power plant for a stealth aircraft or disc-shaped vehicle, which if completed could whisk through the skies unlike any conventional plane. Fringe science concepts such as vortex theory or torsion fields are often invoked to give a pseudoscientific explanation for how the bell might reduce gravity. Enthusiasts also connect this to wartime reports of Foo Fighters, mysterious glowing orbs seen by Allied pilots, imagining that those were indeed manifestations of Nazi anti-gravity craft testing advanced propulsion systems in flight. That's one of the most prevalent theories, is that they were working on anti-gravity.
Okay.
And I don't know if
it didn't work very well.
If you're following all this drone stuff and all that, it's like, I don't know. Do we?
Well, we talked about that.
Yeah, but like there's there's like new drone stuff all over the world. There's all these different crafts. Like, do we have anti-gravity? You know, the
technology?
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Are you also following this like object that's traveling
Yes.
through space?
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
I don't know. Did you see that there's a...
I forget what it's called. Something A3
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
But
I
there's
recently stumbled on this and I was like, what? What is going on here?
But there's always one scientist that is always saying stuff. So it's not like everybody... I'm going to look up incoming space object. We have time for a little segue here because there's not too much left. Incoming space object.
What little I've heard about it is that it doesn't really behave like a comet.
Atlas.
Yes, 3-eye atlas.
Yeah.
Doesn't really behave like a comet should behave.
It's a comet-like visitor from another star system that passed Mars in October and is heading towards the sun. While it's not a threat to Earth, its peculiar characteristics, such as a glow in front and a nearly straight trajectory with planetary orbits, have sparked scientific debate about its true nature. Some theorize it could be a fragment of an alien world or some kind of technological craft from aliens. But
it doesn't pose a threat
no,
to
there
Earth.
is a famous remote viewer that supposedly, I watched the interview with her, or where she was like, she had the piece of paper and she was like remote viewing stuff, and it was on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube. I didn't put it in here because I didn't know if we were going to talk about this or not, but she said that it is like the thing itself is natural. She said, but there is something on it that's not man-made, but crafted.
Not natural. Okay.
And she said it's almost like inside of it she said she likened it to there being a flash drive inside this thing with information.
Okay.
So,
but it's heading towards the sun, so
yeah,
we're going to lose whatever's in there.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of people.
It is weird.
There's a lot of people on Reddit saying that like people try starting subreddits about it and then they're just deleted.
Disappear.
Yeah.
And what has NASA said about it?
Nothing,
I feel like
because right now there's a
very...
shutdown. There's the government shutdown.
Right.
So NASA and people are saying that they purposely did this government shutdown, and they said that all these billionaires are building underground bunkers now, that all these billionaires know something is disastrous.
Have an underground bunker in Hawaii
all these
or
people,
something?
all these people know something is coming and they're just not telling us because they're going to have their underground bunkers.
Rude.
So that's, there's so many conspiracies about this. But there was that one a couple years ago that I almost did a mini mystery about, that it had like a Hawaiian sounding name that came into our system.
Okay. Not our atmosphere.
And people were thinking it was weird that it acted weirdly and it was propelled weirdly, and that's what people are saying about this.
Yeah.
And then other people are saying that these things, that they know that the Earth is ending right now and that they're coming to witness it. So there's all sorts of weird. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird things, but I am following that.
Yeah.
But and people said that this remote viewer that said there's something on there that's not of our creation, that she's been wrong in the past on other things.
Sure. Of course.
So, but then
has she been right about things? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, but I've been reading stuff about remote viewing, and some of it is really weird. Like some of these people, I kind of want to do.
I think it'd be fun to experiment with.
That's what I want to do. Is I thought about this. I want to do where, like, this episode will come out, and next weekend when there's not an episode at like 11, I work. So this isn't what I'm planning because it's going to be a different time. But I'm going to be somewhere in Manitowoc looking at a specific object. And strangers can try to tune in and tell me what they see, what the object is I'm looking at.
Okay.
Would that be fun to do?
I would totally try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll arrange that in the next couple weeks. Strangers, would you like that? Would you like...
Heck yeah.
I already thought about what object I would look at, but I would be sitting there at a specific time focusing on this object. And then you guys could try remote viewing or whatever through my eyes to see what I'm looking at, which is a little weird to me.
I know the Newkirks do remote viewing experiments in their
remote viewing freaks me out. Like it's
a
like
little bit.
Yeah, it's like the psychic thing too, where psychic stuff freaks me out, but I'm fascinated by it.
But hey, if our military was funding remote viewing
like
projects,
listening to the Newkirk, listening to the Haunted Objects podcast when they were talking about channeling, for some reason the last couple.
That was a funny one. The channeling one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The last couple Estes method sessions we did, I feel like I did really good. And
Yes.
is that not necessarily me?
I can't wait for you to listen to the SS Method episode.
Is that not necessarily me hearing the sounds? Is that more me
Correct.
channeling something?
Yes, it's more of a psychic
creeps me
response.
out, you know?
And that's how Dana does it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because Carl and Connor, who created the Estes Method, are on that episode, and they go in depth into, and you get to see video of them doing it for the first time, and it's really
that
cool.
one maybe I'll watch.
Yeah, I would watch that.
That one I'll watch. But wow, we really segued.
We sure did.
All sorts of stuff. But yeah, where are we here? Anti-gravity. Ba-ba-bum. Some UFO writers speculated that the Nazi Bell was meant to be the power plant. We already talked about that. Yeah, we talked about a lot of the Nazi stuff. That's how this all started. Was I was going to do an episode about Nazis,
Yeah,
and then it became
occultism
Nazis
it.
and occultism,
Yeah.
and it became about Antarctica, that they supposedly have a base in Antarctica, and then I just finally made it just the Nazi Bell and Kecksburg.
You could do a whole episode about Hitler and his fascination with the occult and things that have been found.
We easily could.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to hear that in the votes for next season, you can put that. But that
Could be a side session too, although I think it'd be too much for a side session.
I got to take my pill.
Oh, I'm gonna sip my tea. It's kind of getting lukewarm.
Talk about
now.
the end of the world coming with this.
All I gotta say is, if it happens, I hope it's fast. I don't want to suffer for weeks afterwards, and
There's a movie called Melancholia about the end of the world, and I watched the end, and it's like, it's kind of,
depressing.
Yeah.
Did you hear that there was a group of people who thought the rapture was coming?
Oh yeah.
And I saw videos, and like, oh.
Did you see what some their family members did?
No. The people, like the family members of the people who thought the rapture was coming?
They were leaving to go somewhere. So on the computer chair, they put their shirt and their pants like they had.
Oh my God.
They had
That's
disappeared
terrible.
to freak out their family members, and the glasses were laying on the chair and their pants.
That's literally what's supposed
Because
to
it looked
happen.
like a person there, but there was nothing there.
They showed no offense to anybody, I'm sorry, but they showed these people in the woods all screaming.
These people
it
that
was in
sold
India
all
or
their stuff.
something.
People sold all their stuff.
It's crazy.
But that's, it's, I'm not big with the religion stuff, but it says in the Bible, or somebody said that when the rapture comes, you're not going to have advanced knowledge. You're just not.
Right.
So you're not going to know ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I feel like this world is getting so bizarre that I really do think something is messed up with reality.
Yeah.
That's an episode for next season too. Maybe we have to do one last nature reality episode, but stuff is just messed up.
See what our reality is next year.
Who knows? We might never not be around to do our next season. You never know. And the third possible thing that the Bell was, and I can kind of understand this one, is that they were working on some kind of nuclear device. So in contrast to the above, a relatively down-to-earth theory has gained attention in recent years, namely that the Bell could have been related to Nazi atomic research. This interpretation suggests that the Bell was not an anti-gravity machine, but rather a centrifugal separator or particle accelerator intended to enrich uranium or generate other nuclear materials. It is known that the SS under Hans Kammler had taken over some aspects of the German nuclear project by late 1944, and they were exploring different enrichment techniques. The Astonishing Legends podcast went deep into uranium and how it works and how it's made, and it was actually really interesting. The Bell's reported characteristics, high-speed spinning, radiation emissions, fatalities among workers, could fit a dangerous nuclear experiment. In fact, Nick Cook himself, after years of silence on the topic, gave an interview in 2021 in which he said that he leaned towards this explanation. He expressed that on reflection, the Bell might have been, quote, some form of enrichment device for an SS-run atomic bomb program, rather than a gravity-defying craft or a time travel machine, acknowledging that earlier fantastical notions were likely off base. This theory hasn't captured the public imagination as much as stranger theories have, but it's an important perspective to consider when separating myth from possible reality. And the second big theory is that it's nothing. that there was nothing because there's really no
Doesn't even
evidence.
exist.
No.
Yeah.
Skeptical author Robert Schaefer criticized Cook's book as, quote, a classic example of how to spin an exciting yarn based on almost nothing. He visits places where it's rumored that secret UFO and anti-gravity research is going on and then writes about what he feels and imagines, although he discovers nothing more tangible than unsubstantiated rumors.
Ooh.
What a burn.
Yeah.
Plus, David Myra contended that if anti-gravity devices actually existed, the Germans, desperate to stop the Allies' advance, would have used them. In 1960, a French book called Morning of the Magicians introduced the notion of Nazi technology veering into the occult or miraculous. This work speculated wildly on Nazi links to supernatural forces and secret sciences. It planted early seeds for later conspiracy theories, though it did not mention the bell explicitly. Fiction, too, kept the idea alive. For instance, American author Dean Koontz' 1988 thriller Lightning featured Nazi time travelers using a secret device, an uncanny prelude to the Bell narrative. Did you read that one?
I'm pretty sure I did, but it's so long ago that it just doesn't even ring a bell at this point. I'm pretty sure we have that book.
Yeah. During the 2000s, a number of writers in the UFO and conspiracy theory community expanded on the tale. Authors like Joseph P. Farrell and Jim Marrs wove the bell into broader narratives of Nazi secret sciences and post-war cover-up. Farrell, for instance, suggested that the bell might have been spirited away to South America or even linked it to the infamous UFO incident in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania in 1965. Another writer, Henry Stevens, added imaginative new details, claiming that the bell contained a type of exotic red mercury and that a concave mirror atop the device allowed glimpses into the past when the bell was running. By the late 2000s, what started as a niche story from an obscure Polish source had evolved into a staple of World War II alternate history lore. And this comes from Factum Obscura, which is a great website. It says, quote, it's worth noting that all these theories suffer from a critical problem, lack of verifiable evidence. No blueprints, photographs, lab records, or first-hand testimonies from the war have ever surfaced to confirm that the bell even existed. The entire legend rests on post-war accounts that are best secondhand. For instance, the original source, Igor Witowski's alleged transcripts, have never been independently verified. This guy that supposedly gave it to us was executed for war crimes. None of the captured German scientists ever mentioned a secret bell project. The absence of evidence in the historical record leads conspiracy theorists to claim that it was so highly secret that all traces were obliterated, and which is, of course, what everybody says. Well, of course, there's no evidence for it. They erased it all.
Mm-hmm. Right. Sure.
Historians point that the Allied technical intelligence at the war's end was extremely thorough, from V-2 rockets to jet engines. The Western Allies and Soviets scooped up everything the Nazis were working on. The chances that a world-changing piece of technology could just vanish without a trace are vanishingly small. For the anti-gravity hypothesis, mainstream science is extremely doubtful. To date, no proven technology can cancel gravity or produce lift without expelling some form of propellant or using aerodynamic force. The idea of a rotating mercury plasma creating an anti-gravity field is a staple in science fiction and fringe science circles, but it has never been demonstrated under laboratory conditions. If Nazi scientists had somehow cracked a fundamental secret of physics to do with gravitation or internal mass, that would be revolutionary. It's the kind of breakthrough that could not have stayed hidden for long. Either it would have been exploited during the war or the knowledge would have spread afterward. Moreover, operating such a device would presumably require immense power and generate telltale effects, none of which were reported. That was the thing about the henge, is that a lot of people originally speculated that what that was is the bell was tested in the center of that thing, and it was chained to all of the...
Sure, suspended there.
It was suspended there, and there was a guy that has
I can picture it.
Yeah, there was a guy that had a web page, and he went to the henge, and he said it was interesting that these things had, like the pillars had this screw in a place where they shouldn't, where it didn't make sense.
Okay.
And then he later went in to town or wherever and saw one of the water tower, like the cooling water towers, and he said they all had that screw too. So he said he's pretty convinced that this thing was just the base for a water tower. But then other people say the water tower was needed to cool the Nazi bell during the tests.
Okay.
So the henge, most, like, like skeptics believe is just the base of a water tower that's not there anymore. Conspiracy theorists think it was where the bell was tested or where the water tower was that cooled the bell.
Have you ever seen the water tower in Sheboygan?
Yeah.
It has like a hinge around it.
Yeah, it does.
Now that you say that.
The Sheboygan Bell.
Yeah.
The purported effects of the bell, lethal radiation, and disintegration of organic matter are more consistent with a radioactive accident than anything else. This is one reason some think a nuclear-related experiment is a plausible kernel of truth. Unshielded high-energy processes can indeed cause radiation sickness and strange visual effects. For example, Cherenkov radiation glows blue in some reactor accidents, paralleling the bluish glow that some say emanated from the bell. However, the leap from a dangerous nuclear experiment to a functioning time machine is enormous. There's a lack of documentation. It says the physical remnants, like the hinge, are easily explained by mundane purposes. Had a giant metal ball been tethered or tested there, one might expect at least some physical artifact to remain or be recorded by locals. After the war, that region of Poland was scoured for hidden arms by Soviet and Polish authorities. They found hidden workshops and tunnels, but no bell. Perhaps the strongest argument against the reality of the bell is a practical one. If the Nazis had anything close to these capabilities, they would have used them. By 1945, Germany was being pulverized. Hitler was issuing orders to deploy fantastical weapons in a last bid to stave off defeat. History records the use of V-2 rockets in that desperation, but no anti-gravity flying saucers or time machines coming to the rescue. A former aerospace scientist, David Myra, who has written on German projects, put it plainly. Had an anti-gravity craft or similar wonder been in development, the regime would have thrown it into battle or at least prominently tested it, yet nothing of the sort occurred.
That makes sense.
What time are we looking at?
It's probably an hour and 15.
Okay. I'm just gonna discuss this because this popped up in here, and this is like a weird conspiracy thing too, and it's red mercury. So was Zerum 525 really red mercury? So red mercury, this is interesting because I've never heard of this before. Red mercury is a discredited substance, most likely a hoax perpetrated by con artists who sought to take advantage of gullible buyers on the black market of arms. References to red mercury.
Sounds very James Bond.
It does. I believe it's been in movies and computer video games and stuff. Sure. References to red mercury first appeared in major Soviet and Western media sources in the late 1980s. The articles were never specific as to what exactly red mercury was, but nevertheless claimed it was of great importance in nuclear bombs or that it was used in the building of boosted fission weapons. Almost as soon as the stories appeared, people started attempting to buy it. At that point, the nature of the substance started to change and eventually turned into anything the buyer happened to be interested in. A 1993 article in the Russian newspaper Pravda, claiming to be informed by leaked top secret memos, described red mercury as, quote, a superconductive material used for producing high-precision conventional and nuclear bomb explosives, stealth surfaces, and self-guided warheads. Primary end users are major aerospace and nuclear industry companies in the United States and France, along with nations aspiring to join the nuclear club, such as South Africa, Iran, Iraq, and Libya. 2 TV documentaries about red mercury were made by British Channel 4 television, airing in 1993 and 1994. Called Trail of Red Mercury and Pocket Neutron, which claimed to have, quote, startling evidence that Russian scientists have designed a miniature neutron bomb using a mysterious compound called red mercury. Red mercury was offered for sale throughout Europe and the Middle East by Russian businessmen who found many buyers that would pay almost anything for the substance, even though they had no idea what it was. A study for the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, published in 1997, has perhaps the most factual summary of red mercury, saying, quote, the asking price for red mercury, I keep saying mercury. The asking price for red mercury ranged from $100,000 to $300,000 per kilogram. Sometimes it's the price of ground beef these days. Sometimes the material would be irradiated or shipped in containers with radioactive symbols, perhaps to convince potential buyers of its strategic value. But samples seized by police contained only mercury oxide, mercury iodide, or mercury mixed with red dye, hardly materials of interest to weapons makers.
Yeah.
Following the arrest of several men in Britain in September 2004 on suspicion that they were trying to buy a kilogram of red mercury for 900,000 pounds, The International Atomic Energy Agency made a statement dismissing claims that the substance is real, and I love this quote, saying, quote, red mercury doesn't exist. The whole thing is a bunch of malarkey.
Malarkey.
Yep.
That's a good word.
But of course, to this day, conspiracy theorists believe it exists. So
Sure.
I love that people were like rich businessmen were trying to
gotta
buy
have
it
this.
without even knowing.
I don't know what it is, but I gotta
don't know
have
what it is,
it.
but I gotta have some red mercury. So what do you think? What do you think,
I'm
Nazi
going
Bell?
back to the spy, American spy, secret spy.
So what do you think the
vessel.
Nazi Bell was?
Myth?
You don't think it existed at all?
I don't think so.
Really? I
There's zero evidence.
there is zero evidence of it, but
Does it sound like a kooky thing Hitler would have done? Heck yeah.
100%. You know, the guy was looking for the spear of destiny, and he was looking for all this stuff. So, of course, but I agree that if he would have had something that, even if it wasn't tested and they didn't know it worked,
would've used it.
they would have used it, you know, just as a last resort. But there are people that believe that what he intended to do was that this thing would travel through time and space, and that he was going to put a nuclear bomb in it because it's easier just to put a bomb in it and zap it over to the United States and then have it blow up instead of having to bring it over on an airplane.
Sure.
But the thing is that
Was he maybe developing something like that, or was there a blueprint somewhere for something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe. Do I believe it actually existed and was functioning? No.
my opinion is that it did exist, but I think it was working with nuclear energy. I don't think it was a time traveler,
Yeah.
and I don't think it was anti-gravity because, you know, you can enrich uranium by using a centrifuge, like a really powerful one, and it sounds like that's what this was. You know, but it's just that if these both did exist, they are freakishly alike with the weird symbols
It is
on the
weird.
bottom.
It's weird.
But there's no proof that the Kecksburg UFO existed either.
Right.
You have a lot of hearsay. You have a lot of people that saw something get taken out on a tarp. You know, that one I could 100% see being a secret craft that we were testing.
Yeah.
But it's just weird that these two do seem so alike.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that this guy, to get away from being tried, gave us the Nazi Bell, what we had of the Nazi Bell, and that we were testing it and then it crashed. So, I mean, it's plausible.
Okay, maybe.
But both of these would have to exist for there to be like a correlation between them, and we don't know if either of these exists, but I think it's really interesting.
It is very interesting.
I really do, but my opinion is that they were testing some kind of nuclear fission or a way to make this into an engine to use for flying craft. I don't think it was anti-gravity. I don't think it was any of that stuff, but I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I do think something fell at Kecksburg.
Yes.
I really do.
There are
I
too
really
many
do.
people who witnessed
Yeah.
it.
Once you get to the whole, I don't know, we had stuff, but we don't know where it went. You know, they run that thing like my apartment where I don't know where I put stuff half the time, you know.
You're a dude, that's why.
So there you go. There are Kecksburg and the Nazi Bell. What do you think?
Good stuff.
Good stuff?
Yeah, very interesting. I had never heard of either one.
Kecksburg, I would have thought you would have heard of Kecksburg.
You would think so.
Maybe next season, if listeners vote for it, we'll have a Nazis in the occult because it is pretty interesting. Or we could do whether or not Hitler was alive. You know, there's a lot of people that believe
that
he
he
went to
didn't
Argentina.
actually die,
There's a lot of
yeah.
people that believe he went with the
You know
Nazis.
this, or hanging out.
That he went to the Nazi. They took him and the Nazi Bell to Antarctica, and that's where this stuff is, an underground base. So there you go. Kecksburg. Was it Jeremy that was at? Who?
Oh, somebody just
I was
messaged
like,
that
holy
they.
cow. I'm like,
yeah.
You people are living my life that I want to, you know. It was, bless you. Oh, I thought you were going to sneeze.
No, yawning.
Yeah, it was Josh Carpenter.
Oh.
It's like, holy cow. He's like, I've been there. He said, I've been to so many weird sites in the United States. He's living the
Living
life
the
I want.
dream.
Yeah, right. But there you go. Hopefully it was an okay episode. We got trivia.
So is it related?
Yes.
Okay.
So 3 questions right now. Next week are the final 3 questions. Each question will be worth 30 points next week because they're toughies.
Dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're toughies,
Wow.
but they're fun toughies.
Okay.
I like these. I especially like the strange stumper, but that's all I'm going to say about it. You ready?
Ready.
Question 45. For 10 strange points, give me the name of the infamous television series that stated it was found in a Burbank backlot. Again, question number 45. For 10 strange points, give me the name of the infamous television series that stated it was found in a Burbank backlot. Okay. Question 46. For 10 strange points, based on the last few years, what event traditionally takes place at 12:30 p.m. on Sunday during the Kecksburg UFO Festival? For 10 strange points based on the last few years, what event traditionally takes place at 12:30 p.m. on Sunday during the Kecksburg UFO Festival? And question 47, the strange stumper. I love this question. The strange stumper. For 5 strange points, give me the title of the movie that features Nazis as the bad guys and contains the immortal line, quote, "Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory." Again, for 5 strange points, give me the title of the movie that features Nazis as the bad guys and contains the immortal line, quote, "Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory." Those are your questions for today. I'll tell you the answers after we stop recording.
Okay.
So I think that's it. You can email us at thestrangesessions@gmail.com. We are on Instagram. Love our Instagram peeps at The Strange Sessions. Send postcards. We haven't gotten any mail
I know.
lately. Send postcards, snail mail, Red Mercury, I guess, if you got it, to The Strange Sessions at P.O. Box 434, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, 54221-0434. Or you can call our lonely phone line at 920-443-9602, which I believe somebody did. And I think I'll play that in the next episode.
Okay.
I don't remember if it was a story or just saying hi. Or you can send listener stories to thestrangesessionstories@gmail.com. Next episode is going to be the Halloween one. I'm going to have some Reddit stories that I really like. We have a couple, I think we have some listener stories yet. We have some.
I feel like we need to have a spooky themed taste test.
Yeah.
So I'll see if I can find something.
Spooky
Maybe it'll just be
themed.
fun. Maybe it'll just be like,
Bobbing for nasty jelly beans.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. I'll let you.
Maybe some weird flavor of Halloween candy, or
As long as it's not candy corn. Blech. I hate candy corn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
I like the peanut butter kisses, but I probably can't eat them anymore because it'll tear my crown right off.
Oh, a kiss?
One of those peanut butter kisses. They come in the orange and black wax paper wrapped. You know what they are. The peanut butter kisses.
Why would it mess with your crown?
Because
though?
they're chewy. They're super chewy.
Oh.
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
think I
talking
know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
you do. Look up peanut butter kisses.
Peanut butter smooches.
You 100% know these.
Peanut
it's a Halloween
butter
staple.
Kisses.
These.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
That taste like stale peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's weird is those things I think to myself gross, but then I have
Then
them
you
and I'm like,
eat some. That's what people say about
Very
circus peanuts too.
nostalgic.
Some people are
Yeah.
like, circus peanuts are gross, and then they eat one and they're like, okay, these aren't so bad.
okay, I have to add to my shopping list.
Something
Halloween
Halloween-y.
taste test
Yep.
item. Okay.
So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Again, next week, last 3 trivia questions. Toughies, 3 toughies for 30 points each, but I really like them. And I think that's it.
Cool.
Anything else we have to say?
I don't think so.
You got plans
Thanks for-
plans today?
Yeah, my mom is coming. We're going to do some canning. I'm going to take her for a little fall drive to look at the leaves.
Nice.
Hopefully the weather's good.
It's supposed to be.
Kind of
Yeah.
see some blue skies.
Yeah,
through
it's
the
supposed to be decent
wedge of
today.
a
They
window
said
here.
today's supposed to be decent today.
I love this weather. We didn't even talk about the weather.
Oh my God, the weather is
But
so...
it's like 60s
Yep.
and just like perfect.
I realized that I don't even put a hoodie on until it's under 40 degrees.
Oh, really?
Once it's under 40 degrees, 30 to 40, it's a hoodie. Anything under 30, it's a jacket.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I
You
roll.
have rules.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm so
cold, I
glad
put
it's
on a
getting
hoodie.
chilly out because
I love it.
Last
It's chilly at night and in
Yeah.
the morning. Oh, it's
was
so
it
good.
last weekend that was like 80 something?
Yes, it was insane.
horrible.
It was almost 90 degrees.
Yeah, it was-
we might have hit 90 degrees.
It was horrible.
And then it was like 60s the next day.
I absolutely hate it. So that's it for this episode. We will be back in 2 weeks with some spooky stories for you guys, and you want the rest of the
I want to have Jim try them for
keep
sure.
those because they're really good. So thank you guys so much for listening. As always, we love you.
We do, we
and
love you.
we will see you again in 2 weeks. So until then,
Stay
stay strange.
strange.